Unscripted.
You know, I've really come to sort of like Xbox. I know a lot of people probably think that's nonsense, but I really do. I've been spending a little bit more time with it. Yeah, it's lacking the big AAA exclusives, no doubt. I mean, that's honestly the biggest hang-up and the biggest thing preventing the Xbox console from really kind of catching fire, in my opinion. Not literally, of course, but figuratively. I think that the console itself is doing some really good things. It's a powerful console. The stuff that they're doing with the backwards compatibility, if you care about old games, that stuff is great. For me personally, those aren't really reasons to really get into, like an old type game or anything like that. But, obviously, I mean, I'll probably go back and play something older eventually. Like, old to me and old to, I think, most of other people are different. Like I have no real desire to go back to the Xbox 360 era, early Xbox One era and stuff like that. Like, if I hop back on and play some Ghost of Tsushima multiplayer or something like that, even that, some people might go, oh, well, isn't that an old game? Not really. I mean, it's less than a year old. So, I think there are definitely lines and things like that. You're not going to see me go back to, something super far back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love remakes and remasters, and the reason why is because old games look bad, even if they're upscaled in 4K and things like that. Mario 64 upscaled to 4K, or even native 4K still looks terrible. So, you know what I mean? That's how I kind of look at things. And now, Microsoft obviously have done different things recently to sort of attract people to the PC side of things, right? And I get that, right? You want to try to attract as many people as you can. PC is really a decent way to do that. There's a large install base, and you have to make zero hardware, right? So think about that. They're literally making zero hardware for the PC, for PCs to sell their games, okay? It's basically profit for them because they're just selling their games. Now, one of the things, long-standing things that really upsets me is the fact that PC tends to get things, all the Xbox exclusives. Meanwhile, Xbox doesn't get all the PC exclusives, and we also have to look at a situation where, we see, we can see it. Look, and listen, I'm not saying I want these games, right? But look, Flight Sim launched, and supposedly that's going to come to Xbox, but honestly, who cares? But it's like something that launched, a year first on PC. Gears Tactics, another thing I'm not really interested in, but again, launched first on PC. You'll have Age of Empires, that'll be first on PC. They're doing things on PC side that, we couldn't even dream of on the console side, despite the fact that they've never been closer to what they do in terms of performance and things like that. So yeah, that bums me out a little bit as a PlayStation fan, and as an Xbox fan. I'm not saying that I want things like exactly like PC. Obviously, if I wanted that, I could just get a PC. I'm just saying, does it seem like they go out of their way to do things and cater towards the PC crowd, whereas, for us, it doesn't seem like we're going to be able to get the things that we're actually looking for. And they've done this before, so I don't understand why it's such a big deal. But anyway, so like this, for instance, okay, again, cater to the PC crowd. First of all, they allow crossplay with the Halo games and things like that, right? Which I'm fine. I haven't tested. I don't know if you can turn it off or not. I would assume you should totally be able to turn off crossplay. But with that being said, I believe allowing keyboard and mouse to go up against the controllers is a huge disadvantage for controller people, for console people. And also, if you're on a PC, you can control a lot of different things, FOV and things like that, consoles for the most part can. I know that there are some games now on like Xbox Series X and stuff where you can control that a little bit, but here's another instance of something that I felt was a little bit kind of lame. Halo the Master Chief Collection spent several years turning things around on Xbox from its disastrous launch and went on to have a very successful fragmented launch on PC, although there's not many people on the PC side right now. If you check like the Steam charts or whatever, it's like under 10,000 people playing it. So 343 Industries has ensured that the player base continued to grow at a steady rate, and one of the ways they've done this, of course, is through mod support in the game, but if you were hoping for the feature would also be added to the collection on consoles, prepared for disappointment. In a recent update on Halo Waypoint, 343 Industries Community Support and Engagement Director Tyler Davis said that currently there are no plans to add mod support to the Master Chief Collection on console, and that for now 343 is focused on improving the modding experience on PC. As of right now, this is his quote, "As of right now, there are no plans to bring mods down the console from PC. Our goal for this year is to roll out and improve modding experience on PC before we begin evaluating how we should we choose to bring that to consoles. We have seen quite a bit of chatter around it and want to set expectations accordingly. That as of right now, there is no official plan of record to make it so. This could possibly change in the future, but it is not in the current roadmap." Obviously, this is something that a lot of people might not even talk about. I just thought it was interesting from the standpoint of, cater to your console owners a little bit. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that I maybe I'd mess around with some mods or something on the console side, but I just think it's kind of ridiculous. You want all this kind of freedom, and you give all this freedom to a certain group of people, but then when it comes to your fan base that has actually went out there and bought these games and bought console after console after console, and you're giving us the worst experience across the board, I do really think that that's kind of an asinine thing. So I hope to see some changes along the line there sooner rather than later. And at the end of the day, I really want to see gamers kind of come together and maybe request something like that. I'm not saying that obviously everybody's going to care about it and things like that, but for me personally, I just felt like it was a little bit of a slap in the face towards the fans that are going out there trying to look for the best possible experience. It's like, here's the funny thing, right? As console owners, we got this game in 2014. It was an utter mess. It was so much of a mess that they gave us Halo ODST for free, and then it continued to be a mess. They didn't do anything with it. Like, they did some minor updates and stuff like that, but it was still a complete mess. And then it sat pretty much a mess for 3 years. And then once the Xbox One X came out, and it was kind of evident that Microsoft wouldn't be able to get any exclusives out the door, they went back and patched it 4K and patched it all up and things like that. So realistically, they didn't give two craps about the console fan base for over 3 years, and then they're like, "Oh, well, we just sold people a $550 console. Maybe we should give them something to actually play that takes advantage of it." And then that's where sort of the updates and stuff like that come from. So again, I hate to sound salty or whatever, but at the end of the day, I just felt like that was kind of a stupid idea. And then for Xbox fans, it's like, I'm sure that, we've been proven that modding can actually go out there and work this. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. Modding has worked on Skyrim. Modding has worked on various other games on the Xbox, so I don't think that it's unfathomable for it to work on around other things as well. So yeah, I think that this is going to be a very interesting topic. I'm sure a lot of people probably have something to say about it. Probably, most won't care, and I get that. You know what I mean? I think that it comes with the sort of the territory with what we see nowadays. You know what I mean? And I hope that if you do care about it, you speak up a little bit, because I think at the end of the day, it really comes down to what the fans are asking for, and we're all fans of stuff. So maybe you're an Xbox console owner and you're like, well, yeah, it would be cool if we got the same stuff. I mean, after all, like, when you think about it, the PlayStation fans Xbox owners are the only ones that had to pay for years and years to play video games online. Like, PC fans don't do that, and PC fans are getting Xbox games sooner. They're getting them with more things to do, and I just feel like that's really sort of a big problem in the grand scheme of things if you're a fan. So now, like, getting mods and obviously the ability to do like keyboard and mouse, I think is kind of that's a tricky situation to say the least. And I do hope that we see some kind of movement from Microsoft, and maybe they even things out. I'm just asking for kind of an even playing field. I think that's basically all anyone can do, and that's kind of where I'm at right now with this, and pretty much anything when it comes to PC and Xbox. It's like, if Xbox is PC and PC is Xbox, the way that Microsoft claims and tries to make everything seem to be, then make it so. Make it completely there across the board. You know, that's just how I've always felt about it. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys letting me spend some time with you this afternoon or morning or evening, whenever you're watching it. Stay good, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you very much for rocking out with me. Rack 'em up. Game on, my friends. Game on. The Crap Gamer out.
Unscripted.